Well, we're to the moment we have been waiting for. Final eliminations in Top Fuel. Is this a historic moment for Tony Shoemaker? It could be his last run at Indy with his crew chief, Alan Johnson. Look at the Tony's record in the last 7 years.
How about that round record? 26 wins to 1 loss, 2 #1 qualifiers, 7 finals with 5 wins. That is impressive.
There's Doug Coletta with a burnout. There comes Tony Shoemaker. For Coletta, he would be just the second Coletta family member to win in Top Fuel. Connie won in 1994. Tony Shoemaker beat Coletta in their only Indy final, and that was back in 2004. What a final matchup this is.
Well, Paul, there definitely is a lot of history between these two teams and two drivers, but right now I got to believe that Doug Coletta, I don't think he can beat the Army car. I only think the Army car can beat itself at this point. You can never count out Doug Coletta, though, in that team. I mean, they can step up and run the number, but they haven't really been able to do it this year. So it's almost going to have to be like a Jack Beckman thing where he would go out, that the Schumacher goes out and makes a mistake. But when you look at what he would get if he does get an Indy win, it would be 6 consecutive wins. Remember, this car's never lost since we've switched to 1,000 feet. Also would get 11 wins in the season, which would break his own record, and then also tie Joe Amato for that 52 career.
John Oberhofer's tickling it just a little bit, going to go A to B, but isn't amazing. This weekend started, Alan Johnson announced he was leaving. We thought the team was in turmoil after 3 rounds of qualifying, but they got it together in their machine once again. Are they a machine on their way to destiny? We're about to find out.
Done it. You just saw history being made. Alan Johnson, Don Schumacher, they begin their celebration. The fans here have seen Tony Schumacher make history. He runs a 391, 309 miles an hour. And all those records are now good. And maybe most important is he is tied now with Joe Amato for career wins.
Just an amazing job by this team all year long. It's unbelievable. We thought maybe the turmoil was going to happen, but we were all kind of, maybe the competition was kind of hoping that there might be some chinks in the armor, but there was none other than the first couple qualifying runs since, and this car has been flawless, pretty much like it has been all season long.
Oh, Tony Schumacher has done it. He climbs out of the car. There were questions throughout the weekend. He didn't qualify until well into the qualifying sessions. They have 5 here, and it took them to number 4 to actually get in this field. Let's go to Gary Gerald.
Tony Schumacher, once again, here you are holding the coveted Wally at the U.S. Nationals. What's it feel like to be making this kind of history?
Unbelievable, man. I cannot tell you how nervous you get up there, before such a big round, and then how calm you get after that car starts, knowing you got the greatest team ever, your beautiful family here. I got all of them with me, and there's just nothing like that. For the U.S. Army, for all the soldiers, Gates, belts, and hoses, Madco tools, all the people, years ago that stuck with us when we were 8th in the points and couldn't get down the racetrack. Now we're sitting here, we just set all kinds of records. We're tied with Joe Amato on the all-time win list. I got to do it with my family and God here. Couldn't ask for anything more. It's absolutely the best, and got to do it against Doug Coletta. Someone, I didn't want to look like an idiot. I was cheering for him when he was running Antron, and I like Antron, man. I really do. It's just me and Doug, man. We have a rivalry. We had a battle, and we had years and years of that. And I think that's what I mean when I talk about rivals, and to beat him here, at their own race, it was just awesome. Madco Tools car beat at the Mac Tools race, it's huge for him. I don't think people know how big that is, but that's unbelievable. That is Army strong. That is digging deep each and every round, and that is awesome.
And we go back to the start line with Dave Reef.
Standing by with Alan Johnson, who now hits the century mark as a tuner. When you add up all the different categories, that's 100. And Alan, this weekend started with, well, what everybody thought would be a little bit of turmoil. How did this team keep it together?
Well, it wasn't the team's fault. I mean, I just made some bad calls in the first couple of runs this weekend and got behind. And fortunately, I got a good team at my back, and we rebounded. But on the other hand, I probably have a little bit of an unfair advantage here because I got an angel that lives at this racetrack.
To say 12 years ago yesterday, how much of a factor is that, and how much do you enjoy the success based on what did happen here?
Well, I love to race here, like I said a long time ago, but I I don't need a lot of motivation to race and win, but when I come here, it seems like I got a little extra motivation. And with all the records that were at hand today, you know, I felt I had to pull it out.
Last night they had a very private moment, as the Johnsons do every year here, on the 12th anniversary of losing Blaine Johnson, and parlayed it into more Indy success here once again today.
Get a beer.
You bet. The story is now told, and Tony Shoemaker has done exactly what he set out to do. He's taken all those records down, and he will go to #1 on the Top Fuel winners list with his next victory. And considering the strength of that team, one would expect that's going to happen pretty quick.
Without a doubt, it's amazing what this team has done this season, and it's just you know, the one thing, though, they're going to leave here with only a 30-point lead, but I still think that's way too much for the rest of the competition the way they're running.
Well, you know that the driver feels great. We saw the crew. They got to feel great, too.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't do it without the crew. I mean, if that car's not prepared the way it is, that thing makes no mistakes. When that car's prepared that way, this is what happens. You get those 6 straight wins. You get 11 wins in a season, and you tie Joe Amato for 52 career wins. Tony Shoemaker did his job. Alan Johnson did his, but also the crew gave them a great race car with no mistakes.
Let's go to John Kernan.
And I'm with the Nitro runners-up, Doug Coletta, Fast Jack Beckman. And Doug, we'll start with you. You know, I know you would have liked to have won this race, but heading into the countdown, you did clinch a spot this weekend. The car made it to the finals. Do you feel pretty good?
Yeah, Nick Bonifani and the whole Mac Tools team, John Overhofer, they were starting to get the thing more consistent. It showed this weekend. You know, Connie's got a win here, and I was really wanting to tie him up here, but you know, Tony, they did a great job, and you know, we'll just have to go to the next one, see what we can do.
We'll see you at Charlotte in a couple of weeks. And Jack, you know, you've been very consistent. The last 3 races, you've gone to the finals. Heading into the countdown, how do you like your chances?
I'm calling shenanigans on Heidi deep stage in the final round, but hats off to those guys. They did a great job. But you know, the MTS car is stellar this weekend. I think we moved up to 6th in the points. Except for winning the race, it's been a fairy tale last few weeks for us. So at this point, every round's actually worth 10 points because you only move up one of the bump spots in there. But we're in. We've got a great running race car. I think we got some good momentum on our side. I think we're going to put the Valvoline MTS car in a couple more winner circles, and I think we can legitimately contend for the championship. So can't leave here with our heads low. Our guys did a great job. We're ready to spin the Matco tools some more. Thanks.
Best of luck to you. Paul, I don't know. Can you call shenanigans at a drag race?
If Jack Beckman does, I'm definitely going for it. Well, let's show you some points now because we are set and have reset the numbers for the countdown to the championship, which is the next 6 races. And Tim Wilkerson sits #1. He gets the 30 points over Tony Pedregon, but then it's 10 after that.
10 points down, all the way down to the 10th spot. Mike Neff, most of the teams are in agreement. You really need to be in the top 4 or 5 to have a legitimate shot, but you never know. Things can happen in drag racing.
Gary Gerald has Don Schumacher.
And all of us who are parents can only imagine how a father must just be simply busting with pride when you watch your team, your son, accomplish what they have, setting history now almost with every step and every trip down the racetrack. Can you express what that must feel like, Don?
Well, I mean, you always say you relive your life through your children. I can't say I'm doing that through Tony because, I mean, he's just surpassing anything and everything that anybody could ever imagine. He's doing an incredible job. The team's doing an incredible job over there with the U.S. Army. And all of the support we get from the soldiers and our product supporters, from Valvoline to Matco Tools to everybody that's on board with us. I mean, Gates, Belts, and Hose. It's all because of them, the whole team, Alan Johnson, every guy on the team, Tony. They've all won races on an individual basis. This one out here was really won by Alan. He took and put everything behind him as far as all of the distractions. The team took and put everything behind them as far as all of the distractions, rose to the top, and accomplished some incredible world record-setting things.
We tip our hat once again.
Thank you very much.